Imagine holding something so powerful that you can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't hear it. Yet it has the power to reshape medicine, change the course of science, and even take lives. More than 100 years ago, almost no one knew such a force existed until one woman uncovered its secrets. She worked in a freezing laboratory, stirring enormous pots of black rock with an iron rod for years. She breathed dangerous dust, handled glowing materials with her bare hands, and unknowingly sacrificed her own health in pursuit of knowledge. People called her obsessed. Some said a woman had no place in science. They were wrong. She would become the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, the first person to win 2 Nobel Prizes in different scientific fields, and one of the most influential scientists in human history. This is the incredible story of Marie Curie, the woman who changed science forever.
Marie Curie wasn't born into fame. She wasn't wealthy. She didn't grow up surrounded by great universities or laboratories. She was born Maria Sklodowska on November 7th, 1867 in Warsaw, Poland. But Poland wasn't truly Poland. At the time, it was controlled by the Russian Empire. The Russian government tried to erase Polish culture. Children were forced to learn Russian. Speaking Polish in schools was discouraged. Patriotism could be dangerous. Marie grew up in a home where education wasn't simply encouraged, it was an act of resistance. Her father was a teacher of mathematics and physics. Although he had little money, he filled the family home with scientific instruments, books, and ideas. Young Marie loved them. She would spend hours asking questions about magnets, chemistry, and the natural world. She wanted to understand how everything worked. But life had other plans. When Marie was only 10 years old, tragedy struck. Her older sister died from typhus. Just 2 years later, her mother died from tuberculosis. The losses devastated the family. Many children would have given up hope. Marie did the opposite. She buried herself in learning. Books became her escape. Knowledge became her purpose. And although no one knew it yet, the little girl from occupied Poland would one day change the world.
There was one enormous problem. Universities in Poland did not admit women. No matter how brilliant Marie was, she couldn't become the scientist she dreamed of being. The door was simply closed. So she made a promise with her older sister, Bronislawa. Marie would work to support her sister's education in Paris. Then, once Bronislawa became a doctor, she would help Marie attend university in return. It was an extraordinary sacrifice. For years, Marie worked as a governess. She spent her days teaching wealthy children while quietly studying mathematics and physics late into the night. She read every scientific book she could find. She solved mathematical problems for fun. She attended secret underground classes known as the Flying University, where Polish students learned subjects banned by the Russian authorities. Every lesson brought her one step closer to her dream. Years passed. Finally, in 1891, at the age of 24, Marie boarded a train bound for Paris. She carried very little with her: a few clothes, some books, and an enormous determination to succeed. She had no idea that the journey she was beginning would transform science forever.
When Marie arrived in Paris, reality hit her hard. She had dreamed of studying at one of the world's greatest universities, the Sorbonne, but dreams didn't pay rent. She lived in a tiny attic room so small that there was barely enough space for a bed, a desk, and a chair. During the bitter winters, there was almost no heat. Sometimes ice formed on the inside of her windows. She often couldn't afford proper meals. To save money, she survived on little more than bread, butter, tea, and the occasional piece of fruit. There were days when she became so weak from hunger that she fainted during lectures. Yet she refused to quit. While many students spent their evenings relaxing, Marie remained in the university library long after everyone else had gone home. She studied mathematics, physics, chemistry, anything she could get her hands on. Her professors quickly noticed something unusual. Marie wasn't simply intelligent. She possessed an extraordinary ability to solve difficult scientific problems with patience and precision. In 1893, all of her sacrifice paid off. She graduated first in her class in physics. The following year, she earned another degree in mathematics. The impossible dream of a poor Polish girl had become reality. But her greatest discoveries were still waiting.
Around this time, a fellow scientist introduced Marie to a quiet, brilliant physicist named Pierre Curie. Pierre wasn't interested in fame or wealth. Like Marie, he cared only about science. The two quickly realized they shared the same passion. Long walks turned into conversations about physics. Those conversations turned into friendship, and friendship soon became love. Pierre proposed marriage. At first, Marie hesitated. She still hoped to return to Poland and continue her research there. But opportunities for women scientists remained almost non-existent. Eventually, she accepted. The two married in 1895. Their honeymoon wasn't spent at expensive hotels. Instead, they rode bicycles through the French countryside. Simple, peaceful, perfect for two people whose greatest happiness came from learning. Their marriage became one of history's greatest scientific partnerships. Just 1 year later, something remarkable happened. A French physicist named Henri Becquerel discovered that uranium emitted strange, invisible rays. No one understood why. Most scientists moved on to other topics. Marie didn't. She saw a mystery waiting to be solved. Using an incredibly sensitive instrument designed by Pierre, she began measuring these mysterious rays, hour after hour, day after day. Her experiments revealed something astonishing. The rays weren't affected by heat, or cold, or light, or chemical reactions. Whatever was producing them came from inside the atom itself. At the time, this idea was revolutionary. Scientists believed atoms were the smallest, indivisible building blocks of matter. Marie suspected they weren't. She coined a new word for the phenomenon: radioactivity. That single word would forever change science. As Marie continued experimenting, she noticed something strange. A mineral called pitchblende emitted far more radiation than pure uranium. That made no sense. If uranium caused radioactivity, why was the rock even more radioactive? There could only be one explanation. Something else inside the rock was producing enormous amounts of radiation, something no one had ever discovered before. Marie and Pierre decided to find it. They had no large laboratory, no expensive equipment, no team of assistants. Instead, they worked inside an old wooden shed that leaked when it rained. In summer, it became unbearably hot. In winter, it was freezing. Marie later described it as little better than a barn. Still, every morning they returned, convinced they were chasing something extraordinary. Finding the mysterious element proved almost impossible. Pitchblende contained only tiny traces of whatever they were searching for. To isolate it, Marie stirred enormous iron cauldrons filled with crushed rock and chemicals. The work was exhausting.
She lifted heavy containers by hand. She breathed toxic fumes. She spent hours standing over boiling mixtures. Ton after ton of rock passed through their laboratory. Months became years. Many scientists would have given up. Marie never considered it. Her determination amazed everyone around her. She later wrote that even though the work was physically brutal, she had never been happier, because every experiment brought her closer to uncovering nature's secrets.
Finally, in July 1898, success. Marie announced the discovery of a completely new chemical element. She named it polonium, after her homeland, Poland, a nation that at the time didn't officially exist on maps. It was a quiet but powerful tribute to the country she loved. Most scientists would have celebrated and stopped there. Marie kept going. Just a few months later, she made an even bigger discovery, another unknown element, one that emitted astonishing amounts of radiation. She named it radium. It was unlike anything the scientific world had ever seen. Tiny samples glowed with a soft blue-green light in the darkness. Visitors who entered the laboratory were mesmerized. Marie herself often admired the glowing test tubes at night, unaware that the beautiful light came from something incredibly dangerous. She believed she was witnessing one of nature's greatest wonders. In truth, she was holding a force that would transform medicine, physics, and humanity's understanding of the atom forever. By the early 1900s, the scientific world realized that Marie and Pierre Curie's discoveries were unlike anything that had come before. Radioactivity wasn't simply another scientific curiosity. It revealed that the atom, the very thing scientists believed was unchangeable, could release enormous amounts of energy. It forced physicists to rethink everything they knew about matter. Universities across Europe began discussing the Curie's work. Scientists traveled from around the world hoping to see the glowing samples of radium with their own eyes. What had started in a cold, leaking laboratory was becoming one of the greatest scientific breakthroughs in history. Then, in 1903, came the news that would change their lives forever. Marie Curie, Pierre Curie, and Henri Becquerel were awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics for their groundbreaking research on radioactivity. At first, the Nobel Committee intended to recognize only Pierre and Becquerel. Many believed a woman did not deserve equal credit. But Pierre refused to accept the award unless Marie's name was included. Without her, he insisted, none of it would have been possible. The committee changed its decision. At just 36 years old, Marie Curie became the first woman in history to receive a Nobel Prize. It was a victory not only for science, but for every woman who dreamed of entering a field that had long excluded them.
Just as life seemed to be reaching new heights, tragedy struck. On April 19, 1906, Pierre Curie was crossing a busy Paris street during heavy rain. He slipped beneath a horse-drawn wagon. The massive wheel crushed his skull instantly. He was gone. Marie was only 38 years old. She had lost not only her husband, but her closest friend and scientific partner. For weeks, grief consumed her. She wrote in her diary as if Pierre were still alive, unable to accept that he was gone. Many expected her scientific career to end there. Instead, Marie chose to continue the work they had begun together. She accepted Pierre's position at the Sorbonne, becoming the university's first female professor. When she delivered her first lecture, the hall was overflowing with students, journalists, and curious spectators. Everyone wondered whether she would speak about Pierre's death. She didn't.
she calmly continued exactly where Pierre had ended his final lecture. It was a quiet but powerful statement. Science would go on.
Marie threw herself back into research. After years of painstaking work, she finally succeeded in isolating pure radium. It was one of chemistry's greatest achievements. In 1911, she received another extraordinary honor, the Nobel Prize in Chemistry. She became the first person ever to win 2 Nobel Prizes in 2 different scientific fields. It remains one of the rarest accomplishments in history. Yet, despite worldwide recognition, Marie never sought fame. She refused to patent the process for isolating radium. She believed scientific discoveries should belong to everyone. By giving the knowledge freely to the world, she sacrificed the opportunity to become immensely wealthy. But she believed helping humanity was worth far more than money.
When World War I erupted in 1914, Marie once again put science in the service of others. Thousands of wounded soldiers arrived at hospitals every day. Doctors often had no way to locate bullets or shrapnel inside the body before surgery. Marie knew X-rays could save lives. She designed mobile radiology units that could be driven directly to the battlefield. These vehicles became known as the Little Curies. Marie personally learned to drive them. She trained nurses to operate the equipment. Sometimes she traveled to the front lines herself. By the end of the war, more than 1 million wounded soldiers had been examined using the technology she helped introduce. Once again, her work transformed medicine, not through theory alone, but by saving countless lives.
Throughout her career, Marie handled radioactive materials almost every day. She carried tiny glass tubes of radium in her pockets. She kept glowing samples beside her bed because she thought they were beautiful. No one yet understood the danger. Radiation slowly damaged her body over decades. The same invisible force that had brought her worldwide recognition was quietly destroying her health. On July 4, 1934, Marie Curie died from aplastic anemia, a disease caused by prolonged exposure to radiation. She was 66 years old. Even today, many of her notebooks remain radioactive. Scientists who study them must wear protective clothing because the radiation they absorbed more than a century ago has not completely faded. It is a remarkable reminder of just how close she worked to one of nature's most powerful forces. Marie Curie's discoveries opened the door to modern nuclear physics. Her research helped scientists better understand the atom. Her work laid the foundation for radiation therapy, which has saved millions of cancer patients. She transformed medicine, physics, chemistry, and the role of women in science. Today, laboratories, universities, hospitals, scholarships, and research institutes around the world bear her name. Generations of scientists have followed the path she helped create. Yet perhaps her greatest legacy was not simply what she discovered. It was what she proved. That determination can overcome prejudice. That curiosity can outlast hardship. And that one person, armed with little more than intelligence, courage, and relentless perseverance, can change the world forever. Marie Curie never chased wealth. She never sought power. She wasn't interested in becoming famous. She simply wanted to understand the universe. She believed that every mystery solved brought humanity one step closer to a better future. From a young girl growing up under foreign rule, to a student who survived on almost nothing, to the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, and the first person ever to win 2. Her journey is more than the story of a scientist. It is the story of resilience, of sacrifice, of curiosity without limits. Today, every time radiation is used to diagnose illness, every time cancer is treated with radiation therapy,
Every time scientists unlock another secret of the atom, the legacy of Marie Curie lives on. More than a century after her greatest discoveries, her influence is still shaping the world. She didn't just make history, she changed science forever. Marie Curie, the woman who changed science forever.